on day 63 of my Appalachian Trail through hike. I am starting the day at mile marker 809, shooting for about 21 miles to pre-shelter. This week we're going to be talking about visitors on the Appalachian Trail, the good, the bad, the ugly of having people come when you're on. There's some really nice things like trail magic and getting resupplied, getting to see loved ones and catch up, but then there's also the part where they need help with logistics and they walk really slowly and it's hard to figure things out. So we'll hear it all.
So my brother is visiting in a couple days and he has no gear yet, he has no plan, and it'll work out fine. He's bringing his girlfriend and they're trying to rent gear from his college, which is not currently working, and they're gonna meet me at Stanimals hostel in Glasgow, Virginia, and it'll be fine. It'll work out. I wrote a poem for this occasion. It goes, tomorrow I'm getting a visitor. My brother will hike with his sister. I'm ahead of the bubble, but they'll catch up no trouble when my brother complains of a blister.
I'm Goldilocks' brother. I'm visiting for the week, maybe. We packed some unnecessary junk. It's a little heavier than you know, she'd recommend me to take, but we're getting through it, and it's been tough. We're having fun.
I had a Nero in Buena Vista yesterday and got everything clean and dry. And now it's a really rainy first day on trail, so back to everything being perpetually damp. And with 4.4 more miles to go, the sun finally came out. It'll be nice to dry off some stuff at the shelter. I made it to pre-shelter for the night, leaving Goldilocks and family about 8 miles behind. So lesson number one, when you have family or friends visiting, you should probably plan on cutting your miles in half, just because since they don't have their trail legs, they're not able to keep up with the group.
So we're 2 days into my brother's visit with me on the Appalachian Trail. He's planning 5 days. We'll see how that lasts. We did almost 10 miles the first day and then 11.5 the second day. They are destroyed. They are still at the campsite and we are shuttling them up this mountain because they cannot climb the mountain. So I get a 5-mile slack pack, that's nice, and they get to sleep in.
Hello from a very humid day in Virginia. Lots of climbs and heat, but really beautiful views that make it all worth it. Shooting for just 15 miles today. There's a place called Devil's Backbone Brewery that in the past has had free shuttles to and from the trailhead, as well as free camping for thru hikers and all the burgers and beer that you could hope for. With COVID, the way they're doing it has switched up a little bit, so we're hoping we can get in there today and have a good time tonight, but we'll see how it shakes out. When you see a pack chilling on the side of the trail, you can assume that your friend just went to go poop. PSA, Virginia is not flat. They are liars. I don't know who they is, but they are liars. 0.5 more miles to the brewery. Man, this is burger and beer gonna taste good after earning it today. Hanging out at the brewery last night was great. They no longer do the hiker shuttles or the hiker breakfast. However, if you hitch in, the food and drinks are awesome and you are able to camp for free as well as take advantage of the very nice bathhouse to be able to go to the bathroom and take a hot shower. When we rolled up yesterday, we also experienced some of the magic of the Appalachian Trail community. One of my trail friends had lost their pack cover, and through the grapevine, people figured out whose it was and that he would be here at the brewery last night. So somebody actually drove it, dropped it off, left a note that he just found by surprise. Doesn't shock me at all that this happened. It's a really cool network of people here just helping each other out. Gonna hitch back to the trail, say goodbye to the brewery. Only planning on about 15 miles today, so it should be nice and smooth. Found a nice viewpoint to take a seat and have lunch. Pretty hot today, but cold when you stop moving. There's been a lot of these little wormy things in Virginia. They're actually pretty big, and they have so many legs. Not interested in these crawling on me. One of the golden rules when making plans to visit a thru hiker is that we can either choose a time or a place, but not both. Pace depends on the terrain, the weather, how their body feels, or even just being able to get random invitations to do something cool, get off trail for the day, experience some trail magic. So even though you have an average pace, it's hard to plan in advance. So I would say to either plan on a specific weekend that you can meet or the place itself and be flexible on the date. And then about a week out, you can firm up plans so that the plans don't end up getting in the way of the thru hiker's pace and either slowing them down or forcing them to speed up and miss out on something cool on trail.
Hey, I'm Fenway, and I'm planning to meet my girlfriend in Harper's Ferry, and it's been a little bit tough planning that logistically. Obviously, she's working, and she has to take the time off of work, and she has to fly down from Boston to Maryland, so she kind of needs to know what date in advance. And me as a thru hiker, that's kind of tough to know where I'm going to be in 500 miles from now. So basically how I kind of did that was I kind of just took my daily average, divided that by the difference from Harper's Ferry to where I currently was, which was, I believe I was in Damascus at the time when I told her the date. And I just added that number to what date it was, and I got May 30th. And right now I'm actually ahead of schedule. So my plan is just to kind of slow down and take a zero in Waynesboro coming up. And I'll get there, I'm sure I'll get there May 30th.
I made it to Paul Wolf Shelter for the night. It's an awesome double-decker with a picnic table under a covered porch. It almost feels like we rented a cabin and aren't actually just hanging out at a normal AT shelter. There's about 20 people here tonight, big crowd. I think it's because everybody has now gotten back from trail days. Trail was pretty quiet, honestly a little bit lonely, not many people around for the past 5 days or so, both hiking and at camp. So it was really exciting to see a big crowd. Going to go play some cards and hang out. I will be in the Shenandoahs for the next 100 miles or so. It's known to be really beautiful wilderness. However, on the AT, there's actually not such good views, but the trail crosses Skyline Drive quite a bit, so you can walk off and look at different viewpoints and overlooks throughout the park. One of a thru hiker's favorite things about being in this park, though, are the stores and the wayside. So you really only have to carry about 2 days of food with you because there's a lot of different spots that you can stop and either restock on food that you'll eat on trail, or the waysides where you can actually stop and get burgers and milkshake and fill up there. So looking forward to traveling relatively light and enjoying the views. Day 66 of my thru hike, entering the Shenandoahs, filling out a permit and heading in. I'm skipping headphones today and keeping my eyes and ears open. This park is supposed to have a lot of really cool wildlife, including a big bear population, so it would be cool if I had a sighting this week. That is some big poop. There must be some bears around here. No water for the next 12 miles, so I have an extra 1.5 liters or so strapped to the outside of my pack to get through to the next stream. Day one in the Shenandoahs down. Turns out it is true. The hiking on the actual Appalachian Trail throughout the Shenandoahs is relatively uneventful. Still a lot of up and downs through the mountains, but not many views since this park is really made for more of a drive-through. Definitely going to spend more time checking out some of the views from the roads tomorrow, but also learned today that the COVID regulations are still messing with the park a bit. So the waysides are actually not serving food, so no cheeseburgers in our future. However, the stores are open, so we'll be able to carry a lighter resupply. The 20 miles I'm definitely feeling from today. Virginia, again, continues not to be flat, so camp is all set up. I'm about to go relax and watch the sunset. Good morning on day 68. Today I'll be crossing the 900-mile marker, actually in just 2 miles, so it will be a fun start to the morning. And then I'm excited to have my first visitors on trail. My sister and brother-in-law, shout out to Melissa and TJ, will be doing trail magic today in the Shenandoahs, and then scooping up me and my trail friends to head back to a house that they rented for the weekend to hang out. So really looking forward to it. Just have to make it up and over one mountain before getting to trail magic and meeting my family. 900 miles down, almost to 1,000 already. There's pizza at the end of this climb. There's pizza at the end of this climb. There's pizza at the end of this climb. Whew. I don't see them yet, but I could hear Lauren.
She is, big schlep, crossing into Smith Roach Gap for pizza time.
This weekend's trail magic was amazing. Huge shout out to Melissa and TJ for all of the planning and organizing, and also to Sandra and Eric and Lauren for joining and visiting on trail. We had a pizza party with a bunch of beers, had a great time with Thru hikers on Friday, and then we got to go back to an Airbnb to get cleaned up, hang out, eat some of TJ's amazing cooking, even go to a winery and relax. So getting back on trail this morning, feeling really refreshed after doing a Nero into a Zero. And to keep the fun going, we actually get to slack pack today. So since we have a couple of cars between family and friends visiting, a group of hikers get to leave our packs in the car and shuttle them ahead again to the first 8 miles or so of the day. We won't have any weight on our backs, and we'll meet for a picnic to say goodbye before we bid them adieu.
Oh, hey there. I'm Seamus, also known as Roly Poly. Other alias might be my outdoor cat version, also known as Trollroy. And I'll tell you this, I love when family comes to visit, especially you, Mom. She recently came into town, brought the family car, we went to the store, we got to resupply, got me a motel room, and actually sat down and watched the women's UConn basketball. Big fan of them. And, you know, we're from the DC area, so actually in pretty good range, so I should be able to see them further down the trail. Really looking forward to it.
It's Monday morning, which means back to the grind. Time to start doing some bigger miles to get out of Shenandoah National Park. This weekend was a ton of fun. Capping it off yesterday, doing some slack packing with family and friends was fun. It was really hot, so nice to begin the day without any weight on our backs. And even better was our picnic to say goodbye, finish up the food from the weekend, got to grill burgers right over the grill, which were delicious. Getting back out actually felt really good. Of course, it was bittersweet that everyone was leaving, but it was a nice feeling to be back out hiking and knowing that it's what I want to be doing. we got to the shelter last night and there were some section psychers throwing a party. So more food, more drinks, more fun, cool to hang out, soften the blow a bit of everybody leaving. That's all for this week on visitors and my through hike. So you can subscribe for weekly updates, and I'll see you next week.